Welcome to the Compact History Podcast from CompactHistory.com, where we unpack the past in smart, snack-sized episodes. This is episode 101, The History of Email. Email, short for electronic mail, is one of the most transformative innovations in modern communication. It has reshaped the way people interact, work, and conduct business around the world. From its humble beginnings as a tool for researchers and academics to its current role in everyday life, email has come a long way. So how did email get started? How did it evolve? And where is it headed? Before the first true email systems emerged, the idea of electronically transmitting messages between computers was already forming. In the early 1960s, researchers in computer science began experimenting with time-sharing systems in which multiple users could log into a central computer via terminals. One such system, known as CTSS, Compatible Time-Sharing System, was developed at MIT in 1961. CTSS allowed multiple users to store and access files on a shared disk. Among its innovations was the ability to leave messages for other users, a feature that is now considered a direct precursor to email. Another foundational development came with the creation of ARPANET in the late 1960s, a project funded by the U.S. Department of Defense's Advanced Research Projects Agency, ARPA. ARPANET was designed to connect computers across different research institutions, laying the groundwork for the Internet. Initially, ARPANET supported basic communication protocols and file transfers, but its potential for message exchange was quickly realized. The earliest methods of sending messages on these systems were crude. Users would write messages to shared files or send notifications using primitive command line instructions. These messages weren't mail in the modern sense, but they demonstrated the value of asynchronous communication, leaving a message for someone else to read later. At this stage, there were no formal addresses, inboxes, or folders, just basic mechanisms for storing and retrieving text. During this period, the idea of networked communication was expanding, driven by increasing access to computing resources at universities, government agencies, and research labs. Early developers were already thinking about how to structure messaging systems in a more organized way. The concepts of using usernames, developing protocols for sending and receiving messages, and creating system directories were all under active consideration. The experimentation taking place in the 1960s, although limited in scope, played a critical role in shaping the architecture of later email systems. These early concepts and the push toward networked computing set the stage for the true breakthrough that would come in the 1970s. The breakthrough moment for email came in 1971, when computer engineer Ray Tomlinson, working at Bolt Beranek and Newman, BBN, adapted existing messaging programs to send messages between users on different computers over ARPANET. Tomlinson modified a program called SendMessage, which was initially used to leave messages for users on the same machine, and combined it with another utility, CPyNet, which allowed file transfers between computers. His major innovation was the use of the @ symbol to designate email addresses, separating the user's name from the host computer. This seemingly simple decision became a cornerstone of email addressing and is still in use today. Tomlinson's creation was not immediately recognized as revolutionary, but it soon became one of the most widely used features on ARPANET. This early email system allowed messages to be transmitted quickly and efficiently across long distances, providing a level of communication that traditional postal services could not match. It wasn't fancy, no attachments, no HTML formatting, but it worked, and it filled a growing need. As the ARPANET grew, so did email usage. By the late 1970s, email had become the dominant application on the network. New features such as inbox management, message forwarding, and address books began to appear. However, the lack of standardization meant different email systems often couldn't communicate with one another. To address this, new protocols were introduced. One of the first was SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, developed in the early 1980s. SMTP became the standard for sending messages between servers and remains a key protocol to this day. Other protocols, such as POP, Post Office Protocol, and IMAP, Internet Message Access Protocol, were created to retrieve and manage email from client devices. During the 1980s, the rise of commercial networks like CompuServe, MCI Mail, and later America Online, AOL, brought email to the business world and the general public. Although these services initially used closed systems, gateways were eventually developed to allow messages to flow between networks. The 1990s saw email explode into the mainstream. The spread of personal computers, the introduction of graphical user interfaces, and the growing public access to the Internet created the perfect storm. Programs like Microsoft Outlook, Lotus Notes, and Eudora made it easier than ever to send and receive messages. At the same time, free web-based email services such as Hotmail, launched in 1996, and Yahoo Mail revolutionized access. These platforms allowed users to check their email from any Internet-connected computer, removing dependence on a single device or location. Gmail, introduced by Google in 2004, further changed the game by offering large storage capacity, powerful search, and a clean user interface. Businesses quickly recognized email's potential for internal communication, marketing, and customer service. Email newsletters, customer support systems, and transactional messaging became staples of business operations. Despite its popularity, email has faced its share of challenges. Spam, unsolicited bulk email, became a significant issue in the late 1990s and early 2000s, prompting the development of spam filters and anti-spam legislation such as the CAN-SPAM Act in the United States. Security concerns have also plagued email. Phishing attacks, in which malicious actors trick users into revealing sensitive information, remain a persistent threat. The lack of end-to-end encryption in many email systems has raised concerns about privacy and data protection. Moreover, email overload has become a modern workplace hazard. Employees often find themselves buried under a mountain of messages, leading to decreased productivity and communication fatigue. In recent years, alternative communication tools have emerged. Messaging apps like Slack, Microsoft Teams, and WhatsApp offer real-time communication and enhanced collaboration. Social media platforms have also reduced the reliance on email for personal communication. Nevertheless, email remains deeply entrenched. It is universally supported, platform-agnostic, and essential for many formal and transactional communications, like signing up for services, receiving invoices, or applying for jobs. Email continues to evolve. Innovations such as AI-powered inbox management, stronger encryption, and smart replies aim to make email more efficient and secure. Email protocols are being enhanced to better support mobile devices and accessibility. Meanwhile, discussions around digital identity, verified email senders, and integration with other digital tools suggest that email's role will continue to adapt to new technological environments. While the way we use email is changing, its core appeal, quick, asynchronous, reliable communication, is just as relevant today as it was in the 1970s. From its roots in time-sharing systems and ARPANET experiments to its current role as a staple of digital communication, email has experienced an extraordinary journey. It is a rare example of a technology that has adapted across generations without losing its essential purpose. As new tools continue to emerge, email remains a cornerstone of modern life, a quiet workhorse powering our digital world. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Compact History, part of the Compact Histories network. You can find more episodes and explore our other Compact shows at compacthistories.com. If you enjoyed the episode, please like, follow, or subscribe. And if you'd like to support the show more directly, why not consider buying us a coffee at compacthistories.com/historycoffee. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.